Welcome to day one on our Route 66 Centennial road trip from Chicago to Tulsa. Chris and I have been exploring the country together since 2015, but this particular adventure became something much bigger than we originally imagined. Route 66 turned 100 this year, so we challenged ourselves to drive the entire Mother Road over 4 separate trips. This past January, we traveled from the Santa Monica Pier in California all the way to Oatman, Arizona. And then this past May, we picked up the journey from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Albuquerque, New Mexico. This trip takes us from Chicago to Tulsa. And in October, we will be finishing the final stretch from Kingman, Arizona back into Albuquerque. So come along on the ride with us and let's retrace days 1 and 2 of our Chicago to Tulsa stretch.
Hey, we've made it to Chicago. We've driven through a little bit of downtown. We went by Wrigley Field. I just wanted to see the field. We didn't go to any games, but it was pretty cool. Then we've gone over to Lou Mitchell's to have, it's kind of a brunch today, and I've been looking forward to going there. And we had a slight wait to get in. It was about 30 minutes or so, but it went pretty quickly, actually, considering how many people were there.
On a Sunday right before lunch.
Yeah. And so we got in, and you go ahead and, Linda, what do you think?
Definitely. It was very recommended, and the service was great, and our waitress, she was awesome. She was great.
Great service, and the food was excellent.
So if you guys order the French toast, I think the lady that was sitting next to us at the bar was rethinking her life choices, because that thing was not French toast. It was like a French mound of, I don't know. Giant. It was crazy.
I told her, hey, that's just the appetizer. Wait for the rest to come. And just seeing the look on her face on that, but it was pretty funny. But yeah, the eggs were excellent. They even had I think it was almost like a homemade jelly or something. Yep. For the toast, and that was very good. And overall, I can't. It's going to be hard to get a 10, but I'll just give it a 9.5. I'll say that it was very good.
Oh, we're doing numbers. Okay, yeah, I agree. 9.
Okay, maybe we're not doing numbers. Hey,
who cares? It was freaking great. There you go. All right, we're on to our next stop. We'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Bye.
After brunch, it was time to start exploring, and our first stop was Lulu's Hot Dogs. This is a Chicago favorite that's been serving its famous Chicago-style hot dogs since 1968. If you know what all the toppings are, let us know in the comments. And while we were there, we had to make sure we checked out the incredible Route 66 Centennial mural that's on the side of the building celebrating the Mother Road's 100th anniversary. Next up was the Castle Car Wash, and it actually started as a gas station back in 25, and it was designed to look just like a medieval castle. And there's actually a rumor that Al Capone used this as a hideout. Nobody really knows if it's true, but it's a good story. This stop was definitely a Chris stop. He is always looking for muffler men. So as soon as he found out there was one here, Cigars and Stripes went on the itinerary. It's a newer stop along Route 66, but it has also become a very popular photo stop.
After checking out several Route 66 sites in Chicago, we decided to take a detour and go check out the Pullman National Historical Park. This is the former home of the Pullman Company, and they made the famous luxury train cars from 1880 until 1968. The irony is that one of the factors that helped in the decline of the company was the emergence of the automobile. As we know, the automobile is responsible for the rise of Route 66, and that the interstate highways were its biggest downfall. It's one of the earliest examples of a company-owned town where the houses were built and owned by the company. It's also where the famous Pullman strike happened in 1894, and the company is also known for a program where they hired African-American travel car porters throughout the early 20th century. It was one of the leading companies in the U.S. in the 1920s and 30s, and even increased business during World War II because of the transportation of troops across the nation. They have a very nice museum and visitor center. It's located in their former clock tower building. Many of the other factory buildings are gone, however, They were lost during an arson fire in 1998. Now, this is my thing. I'm a historian. I love this kind of thing, but the hard part was I had to keep waking Linda up. Every once in a while, she was laying in the floor, and so we had to check and make sure she had a pulse.
We made it a plan to visit Indiana Dunes National Park, which is just east of Chicago. One of our goals is to visit all of America's national parks, historic sites, and monuments. So we made a little extra time to head over and add another one to our list as we continue our road trips and adventures across America. If you're planning to drive Route 66 and have a little extra time, I would really recommend making that short trip over to the dunes. We stopped at the visitor center before heading over to the dunes, where they have a beautiful pollinator garden and native plants and grasses that can actually be found throughout the park. They also have a short boardwalk that gives visitors a glimpse into one of the wetland habitats protected there. Indiana Dunes became America's 61st national park in 2019, and while it's best known for its beaches and dunes, it also protects wetlands, forests, prairies, and savannas, making it one of the most ecologically diverse national parks in the country. And of course, there's me and Chris being goofy as always. We only had time for a quick visit this trip, but once Chris retires and we hit the road full time in an RV, we're definitely going to be coming back so we could spend a little more time exploring everything this park has to offer. Before grabbing dinner and checking into the hotel, we had to make sure we made one more stop at the beginning of the historic Route 66 sign.
We are at the beginning of the Route 66 in Chicago.
We're going to put our mark where it belongs.
Only on this sign, it's got already enough on there. All right. Woohoo!
After a full day of sightseeing, we were definitely ready for some dinner. That night, dinner was at the Berghoff, and they've been serving guests since 1898, making it one of Chicago's oldest restaurants, and it's one of those places you just have to experience when you're here in the city. After dinner, we checked into the Palmer House for the night. We'd heard so much about this hotel while planning our Chicago stops, so it was nice to finally see it in person. The lobby is so beautiful, and then you look up and you see that incredible painted ceiling. The amount of detail in it is absolutely unbelievable, and it's definitely something you don't want to rush past.
Hey everybody, it's been a long day. It was a great first day. We're here at the Palmer House. That means I must be a pretty darn good wife to be here tonight.
We splurged a little and we stayed at the Palmer House. This hotel was built in 1925, so it's pretty nice. It's actually the third one, if you can believe it, on the same site. I think the first one was like 1870, but this one was opened in 1925, and it's right on Route 66. And so we're staying there for tonight, and we also had a very good dinner.
Yes, we went to the Berghoff, and I had what's easy to pronounce. It's a German cuisine, and it has like a few different kind of fusion style things in it. And I had what was called the German gnocchi, and we're still trying to figure out how to pronounce.
I had spatzel noodle.
That's it, yeah, spatzel noodle,
and it was good as well. And actually, we liked both. We shared a little bit, and
then we had a pierogi for the appetizer,
and a couple of their beers as well. And those, I had the one of their lagers. And what did you find?
I had another lager. I can't remember what it was. They
They
called it the World Cup lager, so they actually probably replenished their
But that came from their brewery next door, which is called Adams Brewery. But it was we had a good experience, and we also went out and saw the Route 66. The beginning signs. We didn't go to the Navy Pier, but we did do the traditional start. And we've had a long day with the flights, and we went to a few other sites throughout the day. So we're pretty tired, and
we're old, is what he's saying. But hey, it's okay.
This would kill young people.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're about to go to bed for the night, and then we're going to get up and start early tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow, so you guys make sure you pause, use the bathroom, grab snacks, because it's going to be a busy one. Have a good night.
lot.
Thanks for following us. Good night.
Our first stop of the day was the McCook sign, inspired by the famous Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign. It was installed in 2013 as a part of the community's tribute to Route 66 and the road's history. Right next to the McCook sign is the Steak and Egger. If the building looks a little different, there's a reason. It actually dates back to the 1920s and was originally home to Snuffy's Restaurant, another well-known stop on Route 66. Steak and Egger has been there since 1955, and it's carried on the roadside tradition ever since. You'll see a lot of Route 66 signs and shields throughout this trip. We stopped for as many of them as we can, and this Centennial sign in Countryside was just another one along the route. Next up was Del Rey's Chicken Basket. It was still morning and they weren't quite open yet for business, so we couldn't get any shots for you all from the inside to share, but the backstory is pretty cool. 2 local farmer women reportedly taught the original owner how to fry chicken, and what started out as a little gas station lunch counter eventually became one of Route 66's longtime landmarks. White Fence Farm has been around since the 1920s, and it started on a horse farm and later became a restaurant. And in 1954, a new family took over with the chicken and corn fritter recipes that make the place so famous. The same family is actually still running it today. On our way to Joliet, we drove through downtown Lockport, and I love old main streets like this. There's just something about those historic buildings and that small town downtown feel, and it always gets to me every single time. Now, of course, you really cannot travel Route 66 through Joliet without stopping at the old Joliet prison. And if you're a Blues Brothers fan, you'll recognize it right away. This is where Joliet Jake walks right out of prison at the beginning of the movie. The prison opened in 1858, and some of the first prisoners actually helped build it using limestone quarried right there on the property. It remained in operation until 2002. So between the history, the old stone building, the movie connection, you've got to make sure you add this as a stop if you're planning a Route 66 adventure.
Hey, we're in Joliet, Illinois. We just went by the prison, and we're at the Rich and Creamy now, and this is a famous stop. The Blues Brothers are on top of the place here. We'll get a good view of that in a few minutes, but this is a pretty neat little place. It's right here in the middle of Joliet, Illinois. And here's, we've got a sticker, and I see a few on this old pole, so we're going to put it on here. There it is. Woo!
Woo woo!
Rich and Creamy has been serving travelers here since the 1970s, when it was originally called Creamy Delight. And with Jake and Elwood dancing on the roof, it became one of those fun little Route 66 stops that you just can't miss. We also made it a point to stop over and visit the very first Dairy Queen, which opened right there in Joliet on June 22nd, 1940. The Joliet Area Historical Museum is a great little Route 66 stop, especially with its Blues Brothers connection and the original outfits on display. We also got to talk with Kurt, one of the volunteers, who definitely had plenty of Joliet stories to share with us. If you get some time, make sure you take a look around before heading back out on Route 66, and don't forget to see the beautiful Rialto Theater sign nearby. As we rolled into Wilmington, you could already see plenty of Route 66 along the way, including Nellie's right on the main drag. But the stop we were really looking forward to was just ahead, the Gemini Giant. He's been a part of Wilmington since the 1960s, when the owner of the old launching pad turned a fiberglass muffler man into an astronaut during the height of the space race. Even his name came from a contest from the local school kids. After the launching pad closed, there was a lot of uncertainty about what would happen to him. He eventually went into auction in 2024, was restored, and then brought back to Wilmington, where he now stands at South Island Park. There's plenty to see around the park, including the murals and Route 66 displays, and across the street, the landing pad is a fun stop for souvenirs and a few more photo ops before you get back on the road. Next up was the Polka Dot Drive-In in Braidwood, and this place has been a part of Route 66 since 1956. It actually started out as a school bus painted with colorful polka dots. That's where the name came from before moving into the drive-in that you see today. The whole place has that old school roadside feel, right down to the rotating sign and all the characters hanging around outside. You'll find everyone from Superman and Elvis to the Blues Brothers, along with plenty of other familiar faces. It's one of those really fun Route 66 stops where even if you're not hungry, you still want to make sure you get out of the car and walk around. Our next stop was Gardner, where we stopped at the shop on Route 66. Unfortunately, we missed the owner this time. There was a little note on the door saying that he was away at a doctor's appointment, so we hope to meet him the next time we make another Route 66 adventure. Before leaving Gardner, we stopped by the tiny little two-cell jail, which dates back to 1906. It's nothing more than two very small cells and a little space for the guard, and me finding bail money for my husband. Just a few steps away is the historic streetcar diner. The streetcar was used as a diner back in the 1930s. Later, it sat behind Old Riviera Roadhouse, and it actually survived a fire that destroyed the Riviera in 2010. By the time we reached Dwight, we were really hungry. We had skipped breakfast that morning, so the old Route 66 family restaurant sounded like a great stop. The restaurant is covered with Route 66 memorabilia, but my most favorite part was the artwork that actually wrapped around the entire room, and it follows the road all the way from Chicago to Santa Monica. The food was really, really good, and it definitely hit the spot so I could actually function again for the rest of day 2. After lunch, we made a quick stop at Ambler's Texaco station, which was built in 1933 and served Route 66 travelers for more than 6 decades. We did a quick stop through Odell, where you can actually still see what's left of an old pedestrian tunnel that once let people across safely underneath Route 66. And just down the road from there is a restored Standard Oil station that was built in 1932, and it's still sitting alongside the route. From there, we headed into Pontiac, and there's plenty to see before you even walk through the museum doors. Right around the downtown area, you start to see Route 66 signs, artwork, and pieces of the road's history, including plenty that's connected to Bob Waldmeyer. Inside the Route 66 Hall of Fame and Museum, you'll find memorabilia from all along the Mother Road, along with a collection of Waldmeyer's work and his Volkswagen van that he used to travel in on Route 66. He spent years drawing the places and people he found along the way, and his artwork became a huge part of Route 66 history. But a lot of the fun in Pontiac is actually outside. Behind the museum, the buildings and alleyways are covered with murals of old Route 66 signs, and you can just wander around finding something very different around every corner. One of the biggest is Waldmeyer's Route 66 mural showing the road from Chicago all the way to Santa Monica. A lot of these murals came together in 2009 when more than 150 artists came to Pontiac and painted 18 murals in just 4 days. So we spent quite a time back there checking out a lot of the artwork, taking pictures, and just having a lot of fun with some of the characters that were painted along the way. We wrapped up Pontiac with a quick stop at Edinger's filling station, and despite the name, you're not filling your car up here. It's actually a local restaurant with plenty of Route 66 personality outside before you head down the road. We pulled over for a few minutes in Genoa, where there is this huge Route 66 chalkboard, so of course I had to add where we're from. The old Route 66 pavement there is also a stretch now that's used as a walking and biking path. As soon as I got in the car, it went from drizzle to downpour, and the rain followed us right into Lexington, where we found Memory Lane. This is almost a mile of the original 1926 Route 66 pavement that the town saved and brought back to life with old billboards and vintage signs once scattered along the highways all across the country. This part of the video doesn't need me talking because it speaks for itself. Enjoy. We continued into Towanda, where we came to Dead Man's Curve. This was part of the original 1927 route when the road was only 16 feet wide, and this sharp turn caused so many accidents that a nearby house was hit several times before a semi finally knocked it off its foundation. Next up, we headed into Normal, and we both looked at each other and thought we took a wrong turn because if anybody knows us, they know there's nothing normal about either one of us. We headed over to Sprague's Super Service, and this was built in 1931. It looks more like a big Tudor-style house than a gas station, and that's because the Sprague family actually lived upstairs while downstairs travelers could get gas, food, and repairs all in one stop. A couple of miles down the road, we found Carl's Ice Cream, along with Carl the Giant and his very tall lady friend out front.
Take this man anywhere.
After that interesting display, we stepped inside, grabbed some ice cream, and then ventured back to the road. We had already packed a lot into day number 2, so by the time we made it here to Funk's Grove, we had just missed being able to go inside. The family has been making maple syrup here since 1824, but luckily we grabbed a little bottle when we were visiting Cruisin' with Lincoln Visitor Center in Bloomington. A little farther down Route 66, we passed the giant smiley face water tower, which serves as a beacon to Atlanta, Illinois. We finally made our way to the American Giants Museum, and this was like winning the lottery for Chris. The museum itself was closed while we were there, but luckily the giants outside can still be visited. There are 6 muffler men right there on the museum property, and after Chris and I have spent the last several years stopping to see these guys whenever we come across one, having them right there all in one place was definitely worth the stop. We made our way into Lincoln, where one of the first things we come across was the world's largest covered wagon with Abraham Lincoln sitting up on top. From there, we took a look at downtown Lincoln with the old buildings, murals, and plenty of Route 66 mixed in along the way. We circled back for a few pictures with the wagon and spent some time checking out the murals and the old Route 66 alignment through the town. When we found the new giant Lincoln penny, and knowing Chris and his pressed penny collection, I had one very important question.
I wonder if this will fit into one of those penny press machines. What do you think?
And apparently, giant Lincoln things weren't quite finished with us yet. Lincoln was actually named for Abraham Lincoln in 1853 before he became president, and when the town was christened, he used watermelon juice. Which explains why I'm sitting on a giant slice of watermelon here. We took one more look around downtown before getting back on Route 66, where we passed what remains of the old Pig Hip restaurant. The building was destroyed by a fire in 2007, but the restored sign is still there marking its spot. We were back on Route 66 for a little while before pulling into Frank's old station in Williamsville. It dates back to the mid-1930s when it was a place for travelers and locals to stop for gas, coffee, and probably catch up on whatever was happening along the road. As we got closer to Springfield, we stopped at Carpenter Park, where there's a quarter mile of the original Route 66 pavement that was basically hidden away for nearly 90 years. This stretch was only used for about a decade before Route 66 was realigned, and now you can actually walk along that old pavement towards Sangamon River. Once we made it into Springfield, we spent quite a bit of time at the Route 66 experience at the Illinois State Fairgrounds. They've basically taken the Illinois portion of Route 66 and turned it into a walking tour, starting with Chicago and working your way through 92 communities, all the way to the Chain of Rocks Bridge. There's a lot to look at along the way too, with old-style billboards, neon signs, a little drive-in theater set up, and because this is Route 66, another giant. We took our time walking through and checking out the different towns and places we had already visited, along with plenty that we still have yet ahead of us. We also made a quick stop at Shea's gas station. Bill Shea worked here beginning in 1940s, first with Texaco and later Marathon. And after the station closed, it eventually became the Route 66 Museum, filled with decades of memorabilia. After everything that we packed into day 2, it was definitely time to get some food, and so we finished the day at the Cozy Dog Drive-In. The Cozy Dog goes back to 1946 when Ed Waldmeyer and a friend figured out how to batter and deep fry a hot dog on a stick. They were originally called Krusty Kurs until Ed's wife very wisely decided that the name needed some work. They became Cozy Dogs instead, made their way to the Illinois State Fair that same year, and the family has been serving them ever since. So naturally, Chris and I had to try the original, and we enjoyed looking around at all the Route 66 memorabilia inside the restaurant and finally called it a day. Thanks for coming along with us for days 1 and 2 of our Route 66 adventure. We still have a whole lot of road ahead of us, so be on the lookout for days 3 and 4 coming soon. And if you've enjoyed traveling along with us, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the rest of the journey.